Hello and welcome to Breaking Barriers, yet another exciting episode of your podcast. No certified coach, lack of minimum training facilities, yet this 12-year-old kid wants to challenge everything that comes her way to be the best, beat the best in the business. Let me introduce to all of you my guest for this episode of my podcast, rhythmic gymnast Upasa Talukdar, the youngest medalist at the 2020 Khelo India Youth Games held in Guwahati. Hi Upasa, how are you doing?
I'm very fine. I'm doing good.
Good to know that. And tell me something, how are you coping up post-COVID?
For me it's very special case because even before COVID, I didn't have coach, and I went to training and just came to train in Guwahati, and I didn't have much guidance to it. And even though if I wanted to do the online trainings, I couldn't do it because it was not very popular before COVID. And after COVID, it was like very helpful for me actually.
So if I can say so that you're utilizing the COVID-19 pandemic or the entire lockdown 2020 as a time, or you're using this opportunity for training.
It's my very lucky period for me actually. Strange, because I got to train with very renowned coaches from all over the world, and I got to have their guidance. And actually, my training improved a lot before,
right?
Then COVID, after the COVID. So yeah, it's like a blessing in disguise, I would say.
Well, that's nice. That's so positive to hear from you.
Yes.
You are one athlete, I think, who actually used the COVID-19 pandemic or the lockdown as a time where you could utilize your training and you could concentrate more on something which you love the most. So tell me, how did actually your love for gymnastics grow?
Well, when I first started gymnastics, I didn't know about the rhythmic gymnastics. So I started with artistic gymnastics, the one Deepak Karmakar does.
Yes. So
even though I love gymnastics, I was not really into the artistic gymnastics. But then because of my flexibility, some of the coaches there suggested me to do rhythmic gymnastics. And when I came to know about the sport, I just fell in love with the sports, because like the sports in itself is like an art for me. Like it's beautiful with grace and it requires flexibility with strength. I mean, you have to be like immensely into it without really showing it. It's just like very beautiful sports for me, like of all the sports. So it just I just fell in love with this. Even if I I was not very talented in the sports.
Right.
I think I still would have done it because of the sports.
It is actually beautiful, just like you said, just like you mentioned,
Yes.
It's a beautiful sport, it's a beautiful discipline, and we've all grown up watching Olympics. I think as a journalist, I always, keep waiting for Olympics because that's the time when we get to see, the best of the gymnasts, thronging in the Olympics arena, and then, showing us some wonderful gymnastics. So how excited were you as a kid when you started off, learning gymnastics initially in your initial days, and how excited you were about, watching these legends on YouTube? And I know you have started your career learning a lot from social media. YouTube and Facebook helped you out. So how much you enjoyed watching, these legends on YouTube and the other social media?
Well, when I first saw the sports, and I wanted to do it, and no matter how I can do it, but I wanted a way to do it. So my father and my parents suggested me to start by basics with the YouTube. And I started it, and I saw like different gymnasts, like Russians and Ukrainian gymnasts, and because of learning from them, I actually learned Russian to understand like what they speak.
Okay.
So inspiring thing about them is that the inspiring thing with me is that even after they have, like, Russia was not very good at gymnastics from the very beginning of that, and then it started gradually doing their own thing and just learning from every other country, and just now they're like dominating the sports.
Yeah.
That really inspired me, and it's not that I have like only one inspiration. It's just I want something from every gymnast. I want to learn everything from every gymnast. So that's why I just want to
excel in whatever you want to do right now.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to know, that to learn gymnastics from the Russian gymnast, you started to learn Russian language.
Yes.
So that itself was another a major task that was done by you, because you had to do so much of research, so much of study, so much of homework to understand Russian language, and then going through their interviews on YouTube. That's incredible, the kind of dedication that you have shown. I think when I met you in Khelo India, and you surprised all of us, I think, because we in home or the Northeast, apart from Deepak Karmakar, we never ever thought that gymnastics will be played here in Khelo India Guwahati edition, and you surprised everyone with 3 winning medals, and that itself was an eye-opener for us as a sports journalist. I mean, you showed so much of dedication, and that was incredible. You have set an example for a lot of people who believe, that you actually need great infrastructure and you need coach by your side all the time. But you have shown to the world, you have proved to everybody who loves sports that yes, through social media or the digital media, we can learn something very, very positive.
Yes. Before I started gymnastics, I never thought that I could actually do it. But then I first went to camps, and the coaches started to appreciate me and just give me compliments about I was good at that. I was a quick learner and stuff. So that just really got into me that I could really do it, I guess. And then when I went to nationals, when I first went to my first competitions, I was like the only gymnast from Assam, and all the other was she's from Assam. Maybe she's new to this, and that was my first competition, and I won the medal, gold medal all around, and everybody was shocked, and from that on, I just wanted Assam to be among the bigger states, and that really actually gives me a lot of determination whenever different my friends from other parts of India just compliment me about stuff that you could really did it, right?
That's really, really inspiring. I've always said that, during Khelo India and right after Khelo India, during the pandemic also, I was doing a lot of stories post-COVID lockdown. I was doing stories on gymnasts in Assam and how they are trying to, cope up. So your story is really inspiring. People have really appreciated your effort, your parents' effort, and the kind of, the guts that you have. This is one sport which needs a lot of guts because
Yes.
it's a very short-lived career.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot continue gymnastics after a certain age.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is one sport where you have limitation, but even then you chose to be a gymnast. So how far from here, after Khelo India, how far do you want to go? How far you want to excel in this particular field?
That's like I cannot really speak of the future, but I really, really want to like reach like the international competitions step by step. I don't really want to like go like think like to the top and just like daydream about it all. I just like go step by step and just live the sports, I guess.
What is that one thing that you learned from Khelo India Youth Games 2020?
Well, I learned that it was actually very surprising, like for the home crowd to be like cheering me, and it was like very good experience, I would say. The home crowd cheering me up, and you see all the familiar faces on all those familiar languages, and then I learned that if the rhythmic gymnastics grew in Assam, that we could really like do something in the future.
Right, absolutely. And what is your present coach, advising you as of now?
I don't really have a coach, like, but actually I'm training from different countries now because even in some countries there is lockdown, so they just do all the online classes, and some coaches, and one of the coaches on Greece, she's like helping me without me paying money. So that was like really amazing of her. I mean, she actually was an Olympian in Greece, and the fact that like she's helping like a gymnast like me is like very great thing for me, I would say.
Absolutely. And how did you connect with her?
My father, actually, from social media. He just like searches for trainings, camps, and just So he came across her, and she saw my photos, and she was like very
impressed with your work.
Impressed, yes. And she like started. We started Zoom classes with her gymnast, and yeah, I got to learn a lot of things from her.
So from when did you start your class online through Zoom?
2 months. It has been 2 months with her, but I started other classes before.
Okay, so is it like every day in the evening?
Yes, she manages times with me, and I manage time with her.
Because the time zone is so different. Yes. So how do you manage?
Yeah, sometimes just now I had a training. It was actually her training. It's basically 12 p.m. there, and it's like 8 here. So
So you have to actually thank technology, isn't it, Upasha?
Yes.
Because this is the technology that has helped you shape up your career from the very beginning of your gymnastics career, isn't it?
Actually, the COVID situation actually like familiarized the Zoom classes, which was very difficult for me before COVID. So it's just really great.
Upasa, do you want to, convey any message or anything that you would like to speak right from your heart about, people taking up gymnastics as a career in Assam? You want to say something?
Yes. I'm not telling you to do only gymnastics. It's just, I wanted to do something, and even though I had nothing, I had to start with something. So if you really want to do something, then you just do it, I guess.
So as a young girl, I think you're just 12 years old, 12, 13
Yes.
years, 12, 13
Yes.
year old
12,
girl.
yeah.
So how big are your dreams?
First, I really need steady coach, because right now I just really cannot say, because as you said, gymnastics is not a career for
For a long
a
time.
long time. Yeah. So I really need a coach and good trainings, I guess, for that. I'm just really even after like trainings with the amazing coaches that I've had, I just need time to like perfect my things, but without a good trainer, and sometimes it's really difficult, yeah.
But nevertheless, you have set an example for all of us that with strong determination, and if you're willing to do something, you can definitely achieve it.
Yes.
Be it the digital media, who actually is your coach,
Yes.
and of course your parents backing you up wonderfully.
Yeah,
and
my parents, like, even if I have nothing, I wouldn't have come this far without my parents. So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And of
so-
course, your school authorities have also always
Yes.
been by your side and
yes,
supporting you in your
my
sporting
principal
career.
ma'am,
Absolutely.
she have really, yes.
Upasa, thank you so much for talking to me on Breaking Barriers.
you, actually.
You have been a great inspiration for all the young people, and please do continue your hard work. We would love to
course.
see you in much bigger international meets in the days to come. People do have high expectations from you, but I must tell you, no pressures from anybody. Just go the way you are. Just be the way you are. And thank you once again for speaking to me on Breaking Barrier. It was wonderful
Thank you
talking to you.
too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
And with that, it's a wrap of this episode of our podcast, Breaking Barriers. And I believe in connecting, so let's connect, and do let me know what you have to tell me about Breaking Barriers and what you don't like about it and what you like about it. So like and do subscribe it. And if you really love my podcast, do give it a 5-star. Let's stay connected and let's stay sporty. Goodbye for now.